Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the Pirate Alliance Kizuna Clash vs Soba Mask and the 10-star event with some no new batch teams to help you guys clear this particular quest. Now, it is the end of the worldwide celebration. Lots of people are probably summoning for Caulifla. It is a super boss event as well, but today we are focusing on the 10-star event with no new characters at all. Now, these teams that you guys see in today's video will be able to be cleared without utilizing Caulifla as a friend captain. However, if you can find Caulifla as a friend captain, I would highly recommend doing so, as she's going to give you the most amount of rewards. So that way you can not only get the Soba Mask skulls, but you can also get the Vivi Rebecca skulls, as well as that's it actually. Yeah, I think that's it. You can get Rayleigh, that's pretty fun. Yeah, so you can get the skulls of Vivi Rebecca, which we've been waiting for since Christmas, and then the Soba Mask skulls too. It is a super boss event, so it's pretty easy to get these skulls this time around, unlike like regular 10 stars. But hopefully these teams help you guys out. Now, as you guys scroll down here, you'll see the boosted list characters are Caulifla giving an extra 1.4 times tickets, and then Jabra and Fukuro giving a few drops as well. I'll be doing booster team makeups. I did manage to pull both Jabra and Fukuro, so I'll have like a full boost team, and then we'll have like some like different options for who you can substitute in for them. As you can see, the stat boost for the worldwide celebration characters are all boosted. Obviously, Soba Mask has been thrown in there because he gets the 6+, and then you have these this array of boosted characters for the 1.5 times boost. It basically goes back to the the 10.5 anniversary from One XC and One Piece Day. That's probably as far back as it goes. But as mentioned in today's video, we're not utilizing any new characters, so let's dive on in for the first fight against the strength fight, which is Dex, Sai, and quick characters get all the good stuff. Obviously, the CP0 characters are the recommended units, and then we move into Battle 12. Before I continue to, I am a bit nasally, so I do apologize for the quality of my voice. Just want to put that out there in case people are like, oh, what's going on? Stump, you sound sick, or Stump, like, why are you being so gross? So apologies for the nasally audio. But on Battle 2, the left column gets blinded, and then you also get a full board of paralysis orbs. After level 30, which all these teams are designed for, Soba Mask is immune to defeat specials, has full immunity, percent damage resistance, all that nasty stuff, and then it's weak to fighter classes. He gives you a 32% HP cut, normal attacks only, special reverse for 2 turns, 9 turns of despair, which go down to 6 after sockets, 5 turns of thresholds, 2 turns of shit bind, and if you use any special to charge your specials, you are then going to have to deal with 2 turns of a intimidation debuff that will reduce your attack and orb boost by 1 turn, as well as reducing it by 0.5. So say, for example, you use a 3-turn attack boost, it'll go down to a 2-turn attack boost. If it's a 3 times orb buff, it'll go down to a 2.5 times orb buff. You guys get the gist. And then you take 320,000 damage. I think 3 and 2, it's got to do with Sanji. I don't really know the lore of what the numbers mean, but 320,000 damage on death. So it does mean you're probably going to need to find a way to tank that. And this is the team that I put together to start it off. We're going to be using Ace as our captain. Now, the upside to running Ace is he is a shooter booster. He also buffs Free Spirit and Dex characters. So you can actually hybrid him up with Caulifla actually pretty nicely. And he's immune to special reverse. So that way you don't have to worry about that interrupt that gives you the very annoying, what's it called? Intimidation. And this way you can use your attack boost, you can use your orb boost. You don't have to worry about that, provided you don't bring anyone that does any cooldown reduction. Now, I do have Robin and Jinbei on this team. They actually do some cooldown reduction, but we're going to use them last. So like once the intimidation kicks in, like we don't really care at that particular point. On turn 2, we are going to have to deal with some paralysis orbs, and that's where the carousel support on Robin and Jinbei comes into play. Because you get blinded here, the support actually triggers. It removes 1 turn of blind and then 1 turn of paralysis. So it removes 1 turn of blind, which is great, and then just removes all the paralysis orbs, which is awesome. Then we have Marco, the Kizuna rare recruit. He actually removes 5 turns of blind. He goes into the Ace super type, which is really, really fun, or the Super EX, and then he just basically gives you some fun stuff there. But realistically, he's just here for blind removal. If you guys don't have that Kizuna rare recruit Marco, you can just replace him with like any other like Whitebeard pirate that can either remove blind, or you can then remove Kuzan and do some fun stuff there. As for the final stage now, we have to get around a bunch of despair, and that's where the Whitebeard support, the Sanji support, and the Sabo support come into play. That way you get around 7 turns of despair there. You only need 6, but like you get around 7. And then we have Kuzan here, who can give us an orb buff and a color affinity boost for 3 turns. He does cooldowns too, so you have to be very careful. Like ideally you want to use like him just before Robin and Jinbei. Robin and Jinbei are going to remove the what's it called? They're going to remove the threshold, which is awesome, and give damage reduction with their super swap. You will obviously go into a int variation, but like that doesn't really matter at all. With this, you'll be able to get an attack boost thanks to Ace's EX. Ace's EX will give you an attack boost to Free Spirit, Shooters, and Dex characters. He'll also turn Fighters into Shooters as well. So you'll have this attack boost live. Then you won't have to worry about the Intimidation. Then you can use the Luffy special. Luffy gives you a chain boundary. He gives you a territory as well, which is really, really fun for Free Spirit characters. And he gives you a conditional buff for defense down, as well as conditional for increased damage taken. He can then apply increased damage taken as well. With this particular team though, like you could probably replace him honestly with like another Luffy, maybe someone that can give, like if you have Luffy Lucci, just chuck on Luffy Lucci here. That would work great. So that way you can get a double stacking conditional buff, and then I think you'll have the units that you need for I mean, if you're running double ace, you probably won't, but if you just replace Luffy with, like I said, Luffy Lucci, you'll be fine. I just bought this particular Luffy because he's a chain matter unit. You could just use Luffy. This Luffy has obviously type advantage too, which is always great. And he's a boosted character too, so he's going to be hitting fairly hard. Kuzan's giving orbs and color affinity. You could probably replace Kuzan with someone else, because if you have the conditional buff from Luffy and you have a conditional buff from Ace, you could probably replace Kuzan with something like Robin and get a double stacking conditional buff. That would work really, really nicely, but obviously Robin's not a fighter or a shooter. Even though she has Free Spirit and she gets buffed under Ace, if you run Khalifa as a friend captain, you're not going to get that buff there. But again, these teams aren't really designed for that, so you can sort of just chop and change however you like. With Khalifa as a friend captain though, you will have the attack boost and the orb buff, so you can actually gain the extra tap timing bonus, or the 3-turn tap thing that she gives. With Marco and Luffy, you have the units for the rush, so you can rush with Ace, and you can final tap with Luffy. Obviously he's built up around Free Spirit characters, which a lot of this team actually is, but you have that final tap there if you want to use it. Moving on this way. Moving on to the next fight, it is the Dex variation, and again, the CP0 characters are boosted. Fighters, shooters, and powerhouse get all the good stuff. On battle 2, there's 7 turns of a chain multiplier growth rate reduction, 1 turn of fear, and then 2 turns of special reverse. Very annoying stuff if you have like special reverse, and then you have to like deal with fear, so it's super, super frustrating. After level 30, which all these teams are designed for, there is immunity to blow away specials, percent damage reduction, and then weak to fighters. The enemy puts up 6 turns of paralysis, normal attacks only, a full immunity except defense down, full body block orb, 6 turns of defense up, a damage threshold where you can only deal up to 99% of the enemy's maximum HP, so very annoying stuff there. And then 32 turns of a 3.2 times attack boost. Again, the numbers 3-2 means Soba mask, something like that. And then there's also a barrier for 3 quick slots for 3 turns, which is annoying. After 1 turn, there is 2 turns of special reverse, and then there is normal attacks only. Oh, was I reading the wrong one? I think I was reading the wrong one. Either way, it's pretty much all the same stuff. There's a 5-turn attack down if you blow a 2 times chain. That's pretty much the only difference. Everything else is pretty much like wham bam on the same spectrum. So we're going to be using Ace once again. Ace just bypasses the special reverse. You guys get the gist. So on turn 2, you don't have to worry about the fear. You're pretty much good to go. If you're running 2 aces, you can actually just use one of the ace specials on that particular stage. And then save the other one for the paralysis removal, or you can just use like the EX of Ace and that'll cover it. But the idea here is we're going to utilize Kuzan. Now Kuzan gives you 3 turns of a color affinity boost and an orb buff, and it makes it easy to hit perfects. And then if you hit 3 perfects, you actually get a bigger orb boost and color affinity boost. So we're going to use him on turn 2. He also removes the attack down with coughing me lungs up. He also reduces the decreased chain multiplier growth rate, so that way you don't have to worry about that. You can use him on turn 2, carry the orb boost and the color affinity into the final stage, and then remove those effects. Another really good character for that stage is Marco. Legend Marco, V1 Marco will basically do the same thing. On the final stage, you can use this Akainu, 6+. He removes the barriers by 3 turns. He also sets defense to 0, which is really, really nice, and he gives you an attack boost for your strength. Well, he just does a rainbow attack boost, I'm pretty sure. He also has a conditional boost for ignite abilities, so then when you use the Ace special, you can actually get an ignite effect as well, or you could just save Ace for the second turn and then just go from there. But with this, you just have like so many different conditional boosters that like ideally you kind of want to just use Ace on the first turn, so that way you can actually get, well, actually you can probably save Ace now I'm thinking about it, because you have the orb boost and you have the color affinity boost from Kuzan, and then you get the conditional buff from Sakazuki, and he also sets defense to 0, so that way you don't have to worry about the super annoying defense up, as well as then getting conditional buffs there. With that, then you can save Ace for the second turn, because remember, you only do 99% damage. If you could, like, if the Ignite just kills early, like, you just obviously use Ace, like, super early, and that way the Ignite will pretty much just kill. But then we also have Soba on this team for the class affinity. You have Luffy on this team to remove the defense up and give another conditional buff. So you have like plenty of damage with this particular team. Ace is going to remove the paralysis actually, so you actually need to use Ace on turn 1. I totally forgot about that. So you have his Ignite ability, which is super fun. You can get the 2-turn conditional buff that way. With Luffy, he has a conditional buff against increased damage taken, but you're just pretty much going to have the Ace conditional buff for 2 turns there anyway. Luffy's replaceable with like anyone that can just like remove defense up. But again, these two characters, Soba and Luffy, they are buffing each other, as well as giving you the Ace EX too. With the Khalifa Friend Captain, you're getting that extra tap timing buff as well. Khalifa also removes paralysis and does some fun stuff there, but remember, these particular teams in today's video are more designed to bring the same captain, or if you can get a Khalifa, then that's going to help out. But that's going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Stay tuned to the channel, because we'll have some like boosted team makeups. We'll obviously have super boss teams coming out too. So make sure you hit the bell notification and hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later!